Welcome to Futuristic Tech Trends. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications.
Hi everyone, so let us discuss Java threads today. We'll just show how the threading in Java works by an example. Why actually we use thread. First of all, if you discuss this, threads are used, for example, if we want to, we have, whenever we run a program, there is one thread that is running, that is the main thread that is running, whether it's Java or Android, But if I want to, start a process which is a bit long process, for example, downloading a file from the internet or exe or bin file or whatever, a video or, whatever, or I want to download it from the internet, but I want that my main thread, for example, if my project has a UI, or my main thread is it has a main UI, or it is doing something else, I want that when this second thread is running, my main process or my main UI, it does not become unresponsive, or the process continues, as it is doing before, it doesn't hang or something. Then we need to use multi-threading, So this is one of the examples. We can also use multi-threading, for example, if we want to auto-update our process, for example, or our application. For example, we have our application running, but we want that the application itself, updates it, for example, shuts it down, downloads the new exe, installs it, and then brings it up again. So this is only possible if we run a separate process, because that separate process will keep running even if our application has shut down, and then it will install the application new, the new version, and it will bring it up again. So these are some of the applications of of multi-threading, where we use the multi-threading operations, or processes. So just go to File, click New, and Java Project, and just name it Thread Test Project, and this is my space where it will be stored. Click Use another, just click on Browse, go to here, and in C, let's just store it in C, and then C overlaps the workspace. Okay, so let's just use the default location for now, it's not important. Next, and finished. So this process, this project test is created. Can we just, we'll have to remove this. Let's keep them here. So this is our test project. Just go here and click on the source. Just right click on the source folder, click Java project, and project, no, sorry, not the project, new, and Java class, new class. Let's name the class as my thread class. Let's say finish. So we have a thread created here. Now in Java we can use different classes to create threads. We can extend our main class from different classes to create thread, but we will use here the runnable class to create a thread. Extends runnable. So that's it. This runnable class, it's giving an error because it needs to implement another function, which is the run function. You click here, you say it's exchange extends to implement my thread to interface. So I have to use implements here. Yeah, not extends. So I have used implements here. Now it says this type my thread must implement the inherited abstract method runnable run. So it should implement this run method in this class. Add unimplemented methods, just click here and it's added automatically. This method is overridden, so now you see there is no error. Now we need to also create a constructor, public constructor. Just write public my thread class. That's it. And wait a second, we need to have these parentheses here. That's it. And now what should we do? We should create a variable. Let's say we have this variable string thread ID and just this, and we have here a local variable string. This will be passed from the class outside, thread ID or thread underscore ID, and then you should simply assign the thread ID to this, that's it. Call it m thread ID, main thread ID. This is main, and this is called p underscore, it's parameter p underscore. Okay, now what? Now we should go to our runnable class, and here we should have we should implement a thread dot sleep function, and in the sleep function we can give the number of seconds that it should sleep for. Let's say we want it to sleep for we can also pass this this parameter also. We can also write here simply for 3 seconds, but we can also pass this parameter through our there is an error here. It says that this should be surrounded by with try catch. Just click here. So it is surrounded with try catch, and we don't see any more error here now. We can also simply use this string as a parameter here, but this should be an integer in seconds. So we can pass this string as a number and just convert it to integer dot parse int and give this main thread ID. Just click M and you will get it as a parameter. So this will be our number of seconds as well, that this thread is going to sleep. And we can write here, for example, we can write here out dot it should have system dot out and print stream. Just click here dot print ln print line, and just pass here the argument and just write a string before it, creating the thread with the ID. So this string is also going to be our thread ID, and this is also going to be the parameter passed to this thread sleep function, and the number of seconds that our thread is going to sleep, So that's it. I think it's fine. I think we should have a plus sign here. Yes. And that's it. So this is creating the thread with ID. Now that we should simply copy here. The thread with ID this, and then again semicolons first with a plus sign again, going to sleep, yes, and we can simply copy here the thread with the ID the thread task with ID finished. That you can take this line thread draw sleep as some task being done by the thread here at this place. You can just write a function which is doing some task here, in this thread, downloading a file or whatever, that's the purpose of it, of this, or any thread that takes any task that takes a little bit longer. You can just replace this line with that task. That's the sense behind this. Now we can create another function in this class, and let's name this function as public void thread start function, and simply just add parentheses here. You have to pull it a bit down. Just click here and drag this window down, and you see, just click here, just right here, new thread dot thread should be capital dot start in fact you need to put this here, and you can simply write here m thread ID and dot start, like this. So this way this thread start function will start a new thread which has this ID, so that's actually it. But you can also do it like this: thread my new thread you can have n capital, which is equal to this, and then you can cut this from here, change it to new thread here, and then my new thread, this new come here, dot start, and that's how it should be, new and capital, and it should work fine. Now we can also check before if my new thread is equal to null, because if we are creating more than one thread, see, it's always a good check, to see if the thread is already null, is equal to null, then create a new thread and also start a new thread. That's it. Yeah, but the problem is this is giving an error because this new thread should be then declared here in the main class variables and have m my new thread. This is main my new thread m, and just remove this and have this m, and that's it. So this is your thread class created, which is going to create a thread for you and run it for you. Now we can go and create our main class here. Just click here and click new Java class and write here my main class and click finish. Now you need to put here the main void function. We will just copy it from somewhere. So the main function is added. Now simply Control S and write here my thread class is equal to thread number 1. This is thread number underscore 1, which is equal to new, and this way, and we have to pass the ID of the thread here. Let's say the ID of the thread we created, we can here put an ID here, like ID is 3000, thread number 3000, and we pass this 3000 as an argument here. It will also be the sleep time for our thread. It will also be the ID of our thread 3000. This shows an error here. Let's see why we have this error. What's in our constructor? Yeah, okay, this is small s, and okay, this control Z. I should have here a big S. Control S. That's it. Now the error is gone. Now we can simply thread call the object of this class with this ID that we assigned dot my thread start function. This is thread start function of my thread class, and that's it. Now simply we copy this, and the second thread is with ID 6000 millisecond, which is 6 seconds, and this we pass here as well, so it will sleep for 6 seconds, and that's how it will be. And then here it should be 6000 dot run. That's thread my start. Now we can run this and we see what we see at as the output. Click here and simply run as Java application, creating thread with 3 seconds. First of all, this with ID this, and second of all, this was called. And let's see, we don't see anything else. I think 3 seconds have already passed. We should at least see this. So let's see what is the problem here. So it seems that we have to pass here yes at this argument, and now let's run it. Yeah, you see it's just ran. Yes, finished. The first thread finished. Now after 6 seconds, the second thread finished. So it just created 2 threads with ID. Then the 3000 was for the first thread. This was for the second thread, and first the first thread finished, and then the second thread finished. So if we go here and we just create another thread, and we name it thread, let's say 2000, and pass here 2000. This thread will be created last, but this will finish first. You will see, because this is just 2 seconds, and it will sleep for 2 seconds and finish first. So we click here, you see, going to sleep, going to sleep, going to sleep, 3 seconds. Oh, going to sleep for 600 seconds. Why it? Because I paused 2 seconds here, but it did not. Yeah, maybe I have to use here this if it is null, because this is confusing. Yeah, I understand, because I have to pass here thread 2000 dot thread start. I was still passing I was still starting the other thread, so that kind of confused it. Now you see, first of all, we create a thread 3000, ID, and so it will sleep for 3 seconds. We then create the thread 6000, and then we create a thread 2000, and it pass 2000 milliseconds to the class, and it will sleep for 2000 seconds when we use this thread start function, when the thread will be started. So now if we run, we will see that first this thread will be created, first one, and then the second one will be created, and then the last one will be created. But first of all, this thread will finish, and then this will finish, and then this 6000 second will finish. We can, to make it more clear, now it's okay, we run it like this, and then now you see, first of all 2000 finished, then 3000 finished, and then the 6000 second thread finish. Although first of all this one got to sleep, and this one got to sleep, and then this last one got to sleep, because this always happened at the same time, fractions of a microsecond, because there was no sleep before that. And they were created also in this 3000, 6000, and 10, 2000. Now if we, for example, have another thread at the start, and we name it thread, for example, 9000, and we pass 9000 milliseconds to the thread class, so you will see that first of all this 9000 thread will be created, thread 9000, and this will be first of all going to sleep, but it will finish at the last, at the complete end, when all of these threads will finish. First of all 2000, then 3000, then 6000, then 9000, depending on the number of seconds that the threads are going to sleep. So as you see, all these processes, these are all processes, you can think of them as separate processes. They are running in parallel, and the first process that finishes first, or that takes the less time, is going to show here first. That's going to say that it finished first. Just for example, if we have, for example, in one task downloading a file, in one task we are, for example, playing some music, in the other task, for example, some loop is running, and this loop is doing something for a long time. So in among all these processes, which process will finish first, will show first, although they are started at the same time almost. So let's run it. Now you see, first of all 9000 were created, and this is, see, 2000 finished, 3000 is finished, the task that is 6000 finished, and then the 9000 finished. So this finished in this order, 2, 3, 6, and 9 seconds, but it started in this order, 9, 3, 6, and 2 seconds, and this is like, and it went to sleep also in this order, 9000 milliseconds, or 9 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 6 seconds ID, and then 2 seconds. So this is a bit of a explanation of Java threads. I hope you got the basic concept of how threading in Java works, and I hope you were able to follow it. Thank you very much.
That was awesome, thank you.
Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications.